off and be hypnotized with them. Pray you get that job in Tampa. That's only 4 hours away. Take a car, take a plane, baby, whichever is fastest. Whichever.
Hi guys. Oh, let's do this properly. Sondelani nithathe front row. If you're new in this YouTube channel, welcome Nganya Sisi. If you are the OG in this YouTube channel, Nganya Sisi, Sondela, uthathe front row. Before we go any further, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I went bald beginning of February, but then my hair grows fast. Yes, I cut my hair because I was going through a tough time. I was going through depression and anxiety, which is something I am not afraid to share. I am not afraid because I believe that one way or the other, we all face depression and anxiety one way or the other. It depends on how you put on the strong shoulder. Another thing, I'm sorry about that. I heard someone outside. Okay. It is something I'm not afraid on sharing. And me cutting my hair was more like a sign of a new beginning, a new chapter, a new way of looking at life. Yeah. So this video, by now you should have seen the title, that this is a life update, how I went through depression, anxiety, how I went from almost sleeping on the street in Korea. Everything started when I landed in Korea. I landed on the 22nd of July, which was also a struggle on its own because I literally did not know anyone. And however, there were people who were very helpful, who were South Africans, and they have currently been in Korea more than I did, which they assisted. I should have seen then that it's going to go down. However, fast forward, everything went well, ended up in my apartment, which was a mess. But we're not there. Started working on the 23rd of July 2025. Everything was well for the first 3 months. Everything was just okay. Everything was going well. I was happy. I was exploring life. And one thing about me, I'm one of those people who take one thing at a time. I would enjoy being in a moment. So yeah, that was cool. However, I started noticing changes. Firstly, the person who owned the academy was no longer coming to work. So it was like we were running the school without him being present in the school. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I started noticing changes. At first I wanted to quit because I was like, am I being delusional or something is fishy here? But it turned out that I was not being delusional. Something was actually happening in the school. So at first I applied, no response. The responses that I got, they were like, oh, we would have to call your school. And at that time, I didn't want my school to know that I was leaving. So I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna get done and dusted with this year and look for another job. December came, still saw fishy things. I'm like, what is happening here? However, still no responses, nothing. So I was just like, let me mind my business and do what I came here for and leave. Once the plan was, when I finish my first year, I am leaving. January came. I had a friend who was more like a manager. She kept on warning me that maybe you should start looking for another job. And in my head, I was just like, what do you mean? Because nothing has been said to me until this 1 week before this happened. Monday, went to school like normal. Everything was fine. Tuesday, my manager called me and told me that please look for a job. The school is closing. And I was like, when is the school closing? They're like, it is closing next week. And in my head, at that moment, I felt depression. I felt anxiety. I felt like I was losing it. I felt so many emotions all at once, because being in a new country does not only put you through a lot, that you're still navigating life in a different country, but mentally you're just like, I'm alone. I will be facing this alone. How am I going to go about this? How am I going to do things? It's a lot. Like, you keep on I don't know how to put it, but then I started looking for a job. Now, this time we're looking for a job. The school is aware that I am leaving. It's not that I'm leaving, the school is closing down. So the reason is more very valid. And so I contact recruiters, tell them that my school is closing down. I'm looking for a job where I can start ASP, because apparently my school is closing next week. I then started looking for a job. Luckily, this recruiter came back to me, told me that, there's the school I really like for you, what. So I interviewed with the school, interviewed with another school, and eventually I found the one that I was like, I'm very happy with this one. Recently started. But I want to focus more on the period where I was told that I'll be leaving the school. However, everything came into light with my previous school. Nothing was being paid in terms of the 4 national insurances. So it was just stress on top of stress, on top of stress, on top of stress, on top of stress. To a point where I was even like, if this doesn't happen, then I'm not coming to work. Sharp. It became very toxic, not just for me, but for everyone in the space. And just when I thought that was hard, I was told that, by the way, you need to move out from the school's accommodation since the school is closing down. That was another depressing thing. Luckily for me, I have a sister, not a sister, but we share the same surname, and we have become very close friends. She knew about my situation, and she was like, I don't know what's happening. Mind you, she was also going through her own things. Then I was like, can I please come and just bring my belongings to your place and maybe stay with you for a few days before I find a new school or decide to move back home? Because at that point, my mentality was, I really need to find a new school or I'm going back home. Everything did not make sense. Like, my whole life was actually crumbling down because I didn't know what to do. I was so drained. Firstly, I was drained by the environment I was in, and I was drained by the whole situation I'm faced, and everything that just felt too much. Everything was too much. I couldn't handle anything at that moment. I couldn't handle. But this is where I am trying to tell you that if God plants something in your head, trust me, there is a reason why you're going through certain things in life. It's because firstly, God trusts you with that situation, or God is just trying to equip you for certain challenges you're gonna face in future. However, throughout this process, I saw how God works. I saw how God actually pulls through for you, because there was a time where I was just like, Lord, I'm not praying for many things, but I'm praying for strength to face whatever I'm facing, because there was a time where I was really hopeless. I was really tired of everything. I just wanted to pack my bags and move back home. That was where I was at. Like, I was just like, oh, let's get this over and done with. I just want to go back home. I don't want to be here anymore. However, God was like, I have plans for you, darling. You don't have to go over and aboard with that. So with that being said, that's a life update. Hopefully now I'll take more videos and me navigating life, me doing this life thing with you. Yeah. But all in all, I've been through the most, and however God showed up. We're now with the new school in a new city, but the same province. And so far, it's not bad. I am really taking it one day at a time. I am well rested. And yeah. Catch you on my next YouTube video. Nganya sis, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, Nganya sis, ukuthi subscribe. Love you loads. For now, goodbye.